Hello everyone, we are here once again with another live stream from Nasdaq Futures, and I'm going to kind of make a new expression for this trading day since I haven't been present lately. Right here I have the Nasdaq charts in front of me, and okay, and we have this 5 minutes to the opening bell, or it's better to say 4 minutes. We jump to 15-minute chart to have an overview over yesterday's trading. As you can see, yesterday was a trending day upward, and we closed in positive yesterday. After that, we had the opening at 6 p.m. New York local time, and the market started rallying lower immediately to clear the sell side liquidity below these relative equal lows in the 15-minute chart, as well as hitting into this BC in the 15-minute chart. So I'm interested in highlighting this area over here. That is a interest point of me for today. You can see the market was reacting several times to this inefficiency, that is type of BC. In 15-minute time frame, and after that we started rallying higher. We cleared the buy side liquidity resting above these relative equal highs by this one at 215, and after that starting going lower into this 15-minute BC and after that we have just kind of consolidation. Only we cleared the relative equal lows from Asian session and London session in the pre-market at 6:45. After that, the next pool of liquidity that is interesting to me is above this single high, and I'm highlighting this in blue. Now, note that the market had a kind of very good reaction from touching this inefficiency in the 15-minute chart to the upside, and this is also inefficiency type BC as well as the other inefficiency. Now I jump to the 5-minute chart, and in the 5-minute chart I'm interested in this inefficiency over here, that is type of CB, resting right below the new day opening gap low for last Thursday. So we can say this is a 5-minute CB, and I'd like to change the color to a little purple. So we have both the inefficiencies above and below the market. Right now the market is in consolidation phase, and I'm not seeing any clear run over here in the market, and we just need to go on 1-minute chart to see the opening bell price right now. Now here is the opening bell at 9:30. We tapped into the inefficiency first presented fair value gap of yesterday and directly going higher as I was expected. into the 5-minute CB and even traded above it. Let's see if this buy side liquidity is getting tagged. This is the high that is created in London session. Over here in 1-minute chart, we cleared this relative equal lows that is very smooth and resting at the low of the new day opening gap for last Tuesday's new day opening gap. Then the market started going higher with a small retracement to this 15 minutes BC. It started its run higher, and now you can see we are trading inside the first presented fair value gap of June 10 and very close to this buy side liquidity that I mentioned before the opening bell in live stream. So after that we have this inefficiency in 1-minute chart as well as the relative equal highs resting over here in the marketplace. This could be also considered as buy side liquidity over here, and this is also important level because it's resting right below the current new day opening gap. Okay, so far we don't have any first presented fair value gap formed, and I'd like to only show the open range gap. That could be this. This is a kind of very huge open range gap that we almost came to touch the midpoint of this open range. Now we are trading inside this CB of the 930 candle. So far we don't have any first presented fair value gap formed, and I'm waiting to see if we have any kind of first presented fair value gap formation, then utilize it through Inter. We are respecting in the upper portion of the first presented fair value gap on last Thursday by closing these two candles over here, and actually is kind of interesting. So we also respected the new day opening gap by closing these two candles and have a good reaction to go lower. So I'm waiting for more information and data from the market in order to get into any position. Well, now we are spending a little bit time over here in the lower quadrant of this first open range gap and the upper portion of this 12th BC, first presented fair value gap. If we create this inefficiency over here, we can see all the bodies are respecting the upper portion and they are staying there, so the market can have the chance to start going higher still. If we go to the 5-minute chart, we see we are closing above this 5-minute BC CB, I apologize, and now we have kind of retracement into it, so I'd like to highlight it. Consider this as a kind of inversion fair value gap. Dropping back to the 1-minute chart, and we see we had a very nice tapped into this 5-minute CB. Well, I'd like to also visit the hourly chart to see what we have over here in the hourly chart. We can see the market was trading low, very strongly on last Thursday, and then on last Friday, I apologize. After that, the market started rallying higher yesterday's trading, and now today we are in the consolidation phase. So dropping back to 1-minute chart, I'm waiting for the first presented fair value gap to fall. We closed in the upper portion of this 5-minute inversion fair value gap. Okay, we are having a kind of good reaction from the market from this 5-minute inversion fair value gap, and it's possible and probable to have the first presented fair value gap forming around here at this time. Once again, we are trying to tap into this 5-minute CB that we fell short of touching it. And we are trading inside the first presented fair value gap of 12th of June, and let's see if we can get above this and close above that. So far we don't have this first presented fair value gap formation. And still the market is trading lower to avoid creation of any first presented fair value gap for today's trading. You can see over here we traded above these relative equal highs over here, and after that we rejected going higher from this new day opening gap. So I'm expecting to see a kind of CP forming as a first presented fair value gap, but this is just my expectation and I have to wait for the market to confirm this. Right now the market started rallying lower. We hit the opening price at 930. Now we are tapping into the new day opening up of last Tuesday. Just fell short of touching the high of that we did over here. Now we reached to the 15-minute PC that I highlighted in the before the market opening in my previous analysis. So now over here we have the first presented fair value gap formed, and it's as I expected type of CB, so I'm utilizing my strategy. I'm waiting for the market to have a retracement high to fill the position. Okay, now we are still trading inside the 15-minute PC, lower half. Now we tapped into the new day opening gap for last week's, and let's see the market if it has any intention to go lower. Well, so far the market is respecting the New week opening gaps high and upper portion. So now we cleared both the buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity of the market over here. Then we need to wait for the market to create its move, and I'm expecting the run higher over here, then delivering lower prices. Look at the bodies, that how they closed over here, and look at the move right now in the market that is going higher to reach this first presented fair value gap. And today is Tuesday, June 17. Let's also put some border for this to make it separate. We tapped into the 5-minute CP over here once again and getting very close to getting filled in the position. Well, after touching the consequent encouragement of this 5-minute CB, the market traded lower and it closed below it. Once again, we are trying to reach to the first present fair value gap of the day. Well, actually, I don't know if I got filled or not on this position. The high is at 45.25. Okay, we didn't get filled. Not yet. I can see a little bit weakness in the market. Once again, trying to reach to the first presented fair value gap. and now waiting for the market to react and shows us if it's willing to go higher. Look at this area in the price action. You can see a lot of important levels resting right above each other. Several first presented fair value gaps, several new day opening gap, as well as the new week opening gap. So this makes the market condition quite difficult for trading, and it's a kind of challenging to me right now. We're spending time in the first presented fair value gap over here. Trying to tap to the first presented fair value gap of yesterday's morning session. Well, we got a very nice reaction in the market. Where did it come from? I don't know. I have no idea. To the fair value gap of 5 minutes. Remember that we have a chance of 71% of the time that the market is trading the midpoint of the open range gap in the first 30 minutes. And it's interesting to me that this open range gap consequent encouragement is sitting right below the buy side liquidity I mentioned before in the beginning of the live stream. Now I'm reducing the risk to below the first presented fair value gap low. We have this small fair value gap over here. You can see how the market is kind of respecting the lower portion, lower half of this 5-minute fair value gap. Well, now I make this position risk-free and waiting for the market to deliver my target, and we are getting very close to that. To my taste, we were spending a little too much time over here in this 5-minute CB, and you can see the body of the candle at 10 o'clock still respected the upper portion even though the wick traded outside it. Okay, the stop loss has been hit and profit, not a problem. Once again traded into the first presented fair value gap. Now we are staying inside this fair value gap over here. If you go to the 5-minute chart, you can see that this run was just fell short of touching the buy some liquidity over here, and after that we started rolling back to the first present fair value gap once again. And yeah, we just cleared the buy side liquidity of that is formed after 9:30 over here with this one at 10 o'clock candle. So then after this stop hunt, I'm expecting to see a measure of run lower. Something like this. Now we are trading inside the first presented fair value gap. It closed in the upper half of it, so still to me the market is bullish. So far the market is respecting the first presented fair value gap over here, and now started rallying higher once again. Let's see if we have the ability to close above this fair value gap in green. Now we started going higher, as I said. After touching the first presented fair value gap for 3-4 times, then the market started going higher. Now I'm waiting for another opportunity if the market provides for entering from top of this fair value gap to go high and targeting the buy side liquidity. This stop is placed right below the first presented fair value gap, and I'm waiting for the market to see what we can do over here. If it can gives us a chance to get on board. Now the market is inside the new day opening gap, and just tap the high of the new day opening gap. So let's see if it has any retracement lower. Now you can see we have a lot of difficulty in the market to go and clear the buy side liquidity at 21,896. Still the market is going higher and cleared the buy side liquidity above this candle at 10 o'clock. So the next objective would be the consequent encroachment of the open range gap as well as the buy side liquidity. Well, at this time I don't think the market is trying to reach lower, and over here we tapped into the consequent encroachment of this open range gap and the buy side liquidity I highlighted over here. Maybe if I wasn't trailing my stop higher over here, I would be in the position and deliver to my target, but things happen and I was rushing a little bit for that. Still I didn't lose anything. And now you can see the market is trading around the buy side liquidity. Over here, I'm not very interested in going into long, so just waiting for the market to have a little bit retracement, maybe to the 5-minute CB, and using it as an inversion. Well, you can see the market is still trying to go higher. You can see the 50% projection of the high to the low of open range is right below this buy side liquidity from Asian session. So I think we can utilize this consequent encouragement of the open range for another entry, targeting this 50% projection. We have closed an indecisive candle over here. That's not very helpful. Now I think we can get a chance to get filled for this position. And yes.